Hello, welcome back. Today we broke the lift and installed the front bumper. So if that sounds interesting, stick around.
Once again, we're forced to maintain one of our daily cars before we can play with the fun toys. First thing on the agenda for the day is an AC line in the Jetta that we managed to cut through with our recently replaced fans. Whoops. As soon as that's done, we desperately need to clean the shop. It's been such a mess recently that everything has been taking longer than usual to find, and that's just generally annoying. After that, we do get to play with the good stuff, though. We finally heard the engine make enough noise to be confident that it's not coming back out anytime soon, and that means we could remount the front bumper and make the car look like a car again. As usual, things don't go according to plan, and something tries to kill me. But what's new? After that, we're forced to pivot to a different task. We ended up making a throttle cable mounting bracket so we can actually hit the gas from inside the car. And finally, we do get to hear the car run again, although it, again, tries to kill us.
Alright, we replaced these fans last time we were here. You can't see anything. And when we did that, I guess we bent one of these lines. And this AC line here was touching the fan. So it shot refrigerant and oil everywhere. So we had to replace that line. So that'll be fun. But then we're on to do other fun stuff. So here we go. Okay, I need to find the Torx bit for that. Okay, that should work. I'm gonna pop this line off now. There we go. Oh yeah, we're good. And that is out of the way. I think then we break the line loose from the expansion valve and it's coming loose. Let's see if we got enough balls to break this loose with a 1/4-inch ratchet. Oh yeah, that looks good. Bugs are out today. It was raining last night. I don't know biologically why that seems to be the case, but whenever it rains, the bugs seem to come out way worse. Alright, bracket's out. Either stripped it or it broke it loose just now. Oh, assume the position. Okay. Ow. Shit. Come on out of there. Let's try that opens. Here we go. Okay, that's going to be exciting to get that all out. Let's try to get this end over here. Okay, don't listen to my advice too closely, but you can bend these lines a lot of the time, a little bit, and get away with it. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, and I'm really not sure how else you get it out, to be honest, without pulling the fucking headlight. So you gotta pull the whole front bumper to get the headlight out. Okay, alright, okay. Slinging refrigerator oil everywhere. There we go, it's out. Holy shit. Bit of a close-up on the damage we caused. That's all from the fan. Man, those hoses are actually really thick, so kind of impressive. All right, now we're going to install the new part. And this line came with new O-rings, so that's good. All right, we're going to start with the compressor side. Already got an O-ring on it. Trying to fish this thing back in there. Non-trivial. Damn, headlights in my way again. Okay, we're gonna have to rebend this line a little bit. Now we get into the issue of, was this thing actually properly installed the first time it was installed? And that's just questions that we'll never really know the answer to. Fun times. It's really hard to see, but I'm having to manhandle this line to get it into place, but I got it into place. Just gotta do some and other things. Okie pokey. It's an important part about working on cars, and genuinely an important part about just life, is that you just gotta not assume the worst. A lot of times you'll see something and you'll think, oh, fuck, that's fucked. I'm gonna have to do all this and this and this and that, and you get in your head about how much extra work it's gonna be, and it just seems like the end of the world. But if you just don't do that and just start doing the work, then it's almost never as bad as you like initially thought it would be. Are we there? Are we almost there? Are we in the neighborhood of there? Yeah, we can see the P.O. box from here. That thing's fucking bent way wrong. It's not. The other one's just routed wrong. That's exactly what happened. Never should have even been close to hitting that fan blade. But whoever put the lines in this thing last time did a hack up job of it. It's hot out. Like really hot out. Oh, see if I can find that. Okay, we're gonna try to bend the line. Man, it's so thick though, is the thing. Yeah. Starting to worry I'm gonna have to pull this thing back out and get it bent up properly. And that's gonna be fun. I really hope it's doing something. Feels like it kinda is. It's totally not though. Fuck! Oh, I think we got it on. I think we got the bolt started finally. Holy shit. Very important tip. Try not to use the bolts to run the fitting down, because you'll end up bending something, pulling the threads out of the compressor, any number of bad things. So generally, it's a good rule of thumb. Don't do that. You've just got too much leverage and mechanical assistance for it to be good. And now this line is fucking way bent out of shape. Okay, I have the window off. You wonder why you have so many fat mechanics. It's because they gotta fucking lean on their belly all the time. And if you have a nice layer of blubber there to protect you from all the pointy engine parts, it's kind of a bonus. My layer of blubber is not very thick. I need to work on that. Call it functional fat. All right, before we put this back together, we're gonna get the gauges and the vacuum pump and make sure we can actually draw a vacuum on it. Because if we can't, we have to take it all back apart. You can also see, I don't know if you can hear me very well, but we definitely leaked some coolant. I think we had our overflow jug tipped over and it was pouring out all over the place. So that's not ideal. I'm pretty sure this vacuum pump can only do about 18 inches of vacuum. So maybe in a completely closed, tiny system, it might do better, but it seems like it's doing okay for right now. So we're gonna let this sit for a little while we put the rest of the car back together. And then if it's still got good vacuum, then we'll go get some more refrigerant, charge her up, and we should be done. All right, got everything back together. Still sitting right around 18 inches. And we're gonna be set. So our next step, we gotta go find some refrigerant. And it takes 525 grams, which I don't know exactly what that translates to. I think it's like 1.5 pounds or so. But we're gonna go find some refrigerant and maybe wash our hands before we drive the car. We'll be back. All right, about a 30-minute round trip to AutoZone and back. And we're good. We're still sitting at the same exact spot it was at before. So take these gauges off and we're gonna fill her on up. You can do it. Go ahead. Yeah. Probably mostly done. Let go. Still a lot left in there. The pressure's on. You know, sit in the front and tell me if the AC starts blowing cold. Yeah, that's decent. Let's see if it'll take any more. Feels pretty good in here. It says my device is too hot. Let's pick up the AC and cool it down real quick. All right, post test drive. How'd we do? Getting out of the way. Yeah, good. That's good. Yeah, so it does pretty well. It's not perfect. I don't know. Probably needs a new receiver dryer or something. But it blows cold the whole time. We got a little hot driving in the sun. It didn't stop working at all. It's just not doing enough. And maybe it's just because it's like 104 outside. But it's better than it was by like 17 country miles. So happy with it. Ready to give it back to Montverde? Okay, we're done with that. On to the next thing. All right, it is time to clean the shop. That's fine, but I'll set you up on a time lapse, and we're just gonna put everything away. It's an absolute disaster, and it's impossible to find anything. So we'll do that, and then we'll get to work on the Camaro. As you can see, but there's a big old spider web, big chilling right here. All right, certainly not clean, but way better than it was. We got the toolbox all picked up, and we got all of our sockets put back. So it should be ready. I think the next step, we're gonna start trying to put the front end parts back on the car. And gonna be a process figuring out what goes where and how it all bolts together. But we'll get started on that now, I guess. So which end goes up? Me neither. I think it goes up. That's got to be up, right?
Yeah, that's definitely up. Good.
Hold on. Don't touch it.
Yeah. You have to wash it at some point. What are you looking for?
That's probably what I'll do.
All this reddish white. Because I did that enough, so it just came right. What's that?
Upside down. Is that my issue? I'm missing some parts, specifically these brackets here on the other car. So we're pulling them off of this, and then pulling this front bumper scoop thing off too. I'm not sure actually if I'm going to be able to get that off. I'm going to be able to get it off. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it back on. Fuck, I got the wrong size wrench. Alright, we're back with the right size socket. Get that one out. Okay, that was way harder than it had to be. Holy shit. All right, we came back finally. The issue we're running into here, this is a bit of shrouding that's supposed to go on the front here. It'll hook into those plastic pieces and it helps get all the airflow to the condenser and the radiator and stuff. The problem is it's supposed to go up underneath this core support here. So we're just going to pull that 10 mil out and these two 10 mils up here out and move this out of the way, set that in place, put this back, and then put everything back. And then we've got our mounting brackets that go here. We stole those off the other car. And then we can mount this piece in. And then we'll look at and see what kind of foolishness we can get done. I've got some ideas for what I want to put for these headlights, and they're not regular headlights. So they might be way too bright, but at the same time it might end up being really cool. But we'll get to that later. We don't really need to worry about that right now. But for now, we're going to pull this piece off and put that cowling in there. Okay. Set this out of the way. Put this thing in there. Maybe that would be easier to put in from underneath. Ow! That hurts a little bit. Okay, yeah, we got it in now. Okay.
Say hi, Tito. Oh, don't stop me! Don't stop me! Don't stop me!
Aww.
Bye, Cletus.
Oh. Alright, we'll set these in place. I'll have to track down another one for the other side. Trying to reclaim these parts from the other half of the bumper. That's good. Ooh, it's getting warm. This little bracket here is just not lined up quite right. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it lined up or not. Yeah, it lined up. You don't. So go with me on this. Lights for these things are incredibly dim. Like, that's such a widely known thing. They don't work very well. So what if we just did this? Because those are really, really bright. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But that does sound like a good option. And I have 4 of these. Yeah, we might have to figure out some bracketry and figure out what has to happen to make that work. But for now, we're going to put the bumper back on.
Oh, black. Wow.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like it wants to fit very well at all. It also kind of seems to me like this thing is going to end up held together with zip ties. Okay, let's just start on it and see what we can get. Yeah, this is the biggest problem with these bumpers. So you cannot see or reach what's going on with the bumper on. Like, you can't put the bumper on to see how to put the bumper on. That's not a very good explanation. Alright, well, it's sort of on there. Oh, this one's going to be nearly impossible to get done like that. Oh, drop that zip tie. Yeah, this is not going to be pretty, but it's going to work. Alright, let's go up. Ah, shit. Ah, fuck. Scott! Fuck. Go get Mama Bird, please. I need you to go to the shed and turn off all the circuit breakers. Yeah. Thank you. The switch stuck on. Yeah. I have no idea. It's hot as dicks, though.
Yeah, I smell that. Is that what I smell?
Yeah.
Okay, huh?
Oh yeah, the switch came apart. I was asking for a screwdriver to take the cover off, and I was like, I'm not gonna fuck with that. That's 220 volt. Like, I'm gonna die. We really ought to put a breaker right there on that wall.
Yeah.
So we could just. All right, I kind of didn't really record much of this. We had to have Bird come out and turn off the power because this was just stuck on. But the switch basically melted itself shut. So I think we just had a shitty switch. But I found another one. I ordered it just now and it won't be here till Monday. So we're not going to be able to put the exhaust on this thing this week. But that's okay. We got other stuff to do. But there you go. Our lift took a shit. Fantastic. Alright, since the lift is now totally cooked, we can't lift the car up anymore. I have a new switch on the way. It'll be here on Monday, which is too late to do anything else in this video. So, what we'll get started on is we need to make a bracket to hold the throttle cable in the right spot. And we're just going to start fabricating that. The bumper is like kind of, sort of installed. It's not at all right, and there's lots of stuff that's wrong with it, but it's going to be what it is. It's not a show car. Eventually we'll actually probably have to get a replacement for this valance here that holds all of the headlights in place, and yeah, so someday we'll do that. And then we'll probably, I don't know. These bumpers are just garbage, generally speaking. But it is what it is. It's fine. It's good enough. We're not worried about it. Doesn't look great, but it's okay. Doesn't need to look great. Just needs to make burnouts. So anyway, on to the bracket for the accelerator. Now the big downside is that once we have the bumper on, we have to lean like 30 feet to get to the engine. Oh, one other thing we could do. I've got these little boots for the spark plug wires. Let's put those on first. Yeah, so we've got these little temperature insulator things here that we're going to put on the spark plug wires. Should keep them from melting in all the spots where they are touching the exhaust manifolds. Now we'll move on to the other bank. Alright, seems like we're okay. Alright, that's done. Alright, on to make this bracket now. And we're going to cut it just shy of that hole right there. It does generally help if you plug your tools in. Okay, that's a little warm, huh? And right off rip, we're just going to deburr it a little bit. That was loud. There's our starter stock. And go do some measurement and some scribbling. And okay, we're gonna cut one notch at a time. Let's go see if it's wide enough. Not quite, but we can at least mark the other one now. All right, we got our bracket marked up here. This is where we're going to make our second cut. And we found the other bolt here. This is the same as the stud that's in the car. So now we can use it to test fit on the bench so we don't have to make as many trips. Okay. A little tight. Very tight. All right. Bolt fits. Bolt fits. See how it fits on the actual car. So we did on the spacing. Looks pretty good. Okay, we need to widen a little bit. We also need to trim a bunch off of that. That's going to be a problem, I think. All right, I'll show you it a little bit when I get a little closer, but this edge here is hitting an actual portion of the intake. Also, both the bolts are hitting the outsides of these, so I got my spacing a little too close. I have to widen it a little bit. It's okay, it's not a big deal. The bolts will have plenty of room to grab onto it. So I'm going to take some off of this here. Might just take it off at an angle diagonally and keep widening that angle until we have enough clearance, and then I'm going to widen these on the outside a little bit so that there's a little more room. Alright, test fit again. That's pretty good, actually. That is not too bad at all. I think maybe we'll take some more off the angled portion. The angled portion here, we're going to start, you see that mark right there kind of on the edge of the angle. We're actually going to cut this whole piece off here from that mark downwards. That's actually where it's hitting the block. So from there we could probably mill it down a little bit more with the flap disc and get the clearance that we need. I may have taken off a little more than I intended, but I think it'll be pretty good. All right, there is a portion, another portion of the intake right there that's going to hit right there. So we're going to mill that out about the same depth as the studs. There we are, test fit. That looks pretty perfect. All right, I'll show you guys where this thing fits. We've got ourselves our little spot right here we're going to use. We'll slide our little bracket in there. All right, and we can see this right here is actually going to hit the bracket if we didn't mill it. And this right here is also going to hit the bracket if we didn't mill it. But right now, that fits down in there perfectly, and it's going to bolt up very nice. So our throttle cable is going to sit somewhere. This is going to go to that linkage right there. Probably going to be held on by a zip tie for the next 38 years. But the bracket's going to sit right here. We need to make a little piece that'll fit in that clip, and also we'll be able to weld to that. So, may end up being two pieces. I don't really know yet how I'm going to do that. That's fucking hot. Shit. All right, this is the face we're going to weld to, so I went ahead and ground everything off of it. It's just got like a layer of rust on it, but I ground it down so we can weld to it later. Let's move on to making another bracket for the other part. Get to hit this on the anvil to flatten it out. That's why we have one. Maybe not perfect, but good enough for us. So it's going to sit on that other bracket like so. You need to bend it here, like fold it 90 degrees.
because the line's gonna, the cable is gonna come through here to make a square. So we're gonna bend it first, and then we'll figure out how to cut a square into it. But now we're gonna bend it. Yep, that worked. There we go. It's gonna sit like this. Then we gotta cut our little rectangle in there. So I'm gonna go measure the right height to cut at the top of it off, and we're gonna square it up, make it look nice. All right, we're just gonna cut it right across the top here, and then square off the end. And then we'll put our hole right where that hole is, just because it kind of lines up perfectly. All right, now we need to measure about the right size for the actual cable. And I think we're just gonna cut a slot and just be able to slide the cable in and out. I don't know if we're gonna be able to cut a square perfectly. We could probably drill a hole, but I don't know how well that would work. Can't drill a square hole. All right, we're gonna cut until all that marker mark is gone, and that'll be a wide enough hole. I think that'll be far enough down. We are probably gonna end up drilling a hole right here, just so we can run a zip tie kind of around the cable to keep it locked into place, keep it from popping up outwards. All right, there we go. We'll test fit, see how it does. All right, fits great. We're gonna clean up these faces here a little bit so that we can weld it nicely. And we're gonna go weld it in. We'll probably tack it in place, test fit it, make sure it fits well, and then we'll fully burn it in. All right, here we go. Time to weld. I want to be clear, I am not a welder. So don't take any advice from me about welding. This is quite thin metal, so you probably don't want to use a very high setting on your welder. Other than that, go crazy. Use some gloves, wear a face mask. Don't be an idiot. What the fuck's going on here? Oh, my speed's turned all the way down. Let's go test fit. All right, so we're gonna go weld that up, and then we're probably gonna have to bend it a little bit, get the angle just right. Okay, we gotta flatten these tabs back out. The thing got dropped a little bit and bent them up a little, just a wee bit. All right, we do need to bend it slightly. It's probably enough. Good enough for the shit box that it is. All right, let's see how much of a pain this is to bolt down. Yeah, we need a throttle return spring.
There's smoke coming out the front.
That's okay. Here, you go start it up. All right, you're good. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed it, and that's about it. Yeah. See you guys around.